What's up, guys? Ballin here, and I'm going to be talking about the new preview and trailer for Mob of the Dead and basically giving you the whole rundown. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about how much it was like Call of the Dead, which was another map in the original Black Ops featuring famous characters such as Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it had Machete, Danny Trejo, and you have Robert Englund, better known as Freddy Krueger, and Michael Cougar, the voice actor of Merle in The Walking Dead, and of course you have George Romero. The hype of that map pack called Escalation was crazy. I remember I wanted it more than anything, and I think that Treyarch wanted that crazy hype for Mob of the Dead. So they threw in fake characters based on real mobsters, and they designed them like real actors. The character Salvatore Sal DeLuca was played by Chaz Palminteri. His story is basically that he built an empire on gambling, prostitution, and booze and liquor and stuff. And the dirty man, if you will, for Sal was played by Joe Pantoliano. Another character was Michael Finn O'Leary, played by Michael Madsen. Pretty much, Finn was good at cheating people, so good that they said he was able to cheat a cheater and get away with it. This is actually the funny part of the story. So it turns out he had a young starlet as a wife, and she ended up selling him out. Now, the developers didn't only seem to take ideas from the Call of the Dead characters, but they also seem to take some map ideas. Anybody who is a crazy achievement hunter like me remembers doing the Call of the Dead Easter egg and how important the lighthouse tower was. Well, in Mob of the Dead, there is also a tower that looks like a watchtower. During the plane takeoff, which I will talk more about later in my video, fireworks come out of the tower, and I can't help but to think that the tower is part of the egg. Now, in the same image, there is that yellow light that everyone is wondering about. Everyone seems to think that it is the random box, and they're maybe right, and I may be overthinking this, but after you do some steps during the Call of Duty egg, or Call of the Dead egg, there is a light that flashes next to the tower, and later on, there is a light that goes straight down the middle of the tower. Knowing this, I strongly believe that the light is something more than just the Randy box, and maybe part of the egg, because the Randy box's beam of light also has more of a bluish green tint to it, whereas the beam in the video has more of a yellow light, like the one in Call of the Dead. Another feature I thought to point out that seemed that they copied from Call of the Dead was the cable car attached to the zip line. There was also a zip line in Call of the Dead. Treyarch seemed to throw in a big hellhound also, which seems to be in almost every map, but it makes me wonder why this one hellhound is so prominent. I think it is Fluffy, the name of the hellhound. Yeah, Fluffy is the name of the hellhound. Who was Samantha's dog that was tested on at the Dury's facility by Dr. Maxis and his assistant Richtofen. Fluffy is pretty much where all the hellhounds came from, and on the COD Wiki website, it notes that the hellhounds have several different appearances. Some are large and intimidating, while others look frail and badly burned. So I thought, why wouldn't the mother of every hellhound be ginormous compared to the other ones? And speaking of giant demonic variants, there seems to be yet a new special zombie that looks. He pretty much locks perk machines and closes the box that you have to pay to open again. He's pretty big, and he is dressed in what looks like riot gear and chains, and seems to have a badge on. He also seems to be wearing a suit underneath of that, which makes me think it's the Warden that the developers say they based some of their new guns off of, because he collected Civil War weapons, because Alcatraz, before it was a penitentiary, was a Civil War fort. But I love how they're going to throw some old guns such as the AK-47, the Tommy gun, and the MK-14. But they're also releasing some new guns that look sick. One of the new guns is the Blended Gat. It is a combination of the Blend Burst and the Gatling gun. And if you don't think that this is killer enough yet, developers say that you can upgrade it to make it better. They seem to try to include a lot of acid in this map. They have two new acid guns. One is based on the Civil War theme, and one looks like an alien gun that shoots in bursts. Another acid attack, a form of attack, is a trap. Traps. They also brought in some new traps such as the acid trap and the saw blade trap. Another thing that they seemed to bring in was some type of tomahawk. Now, there were a lot of theories on this thing as to what it was and what it does. But I think that I figured it out. And you guys, and I may be saying it and somebody else may have found it, but I haven't looked at any other videos on YouTube. I found all this on my own. In this picture, there is a perk being pulled to that player by something he threw. Take note of the stripes on the handle. In this picture, this character is holding the same weapon used, and in this video, you can see what appears to be the same weapon going through two zombies' heads, and right back to him. It looks like a tomahawk, and this makes me think that it can be thrown at something, including a perk, and killed or brought back to that player. Yet another new feature that they brought into Mob of the Dead is the perk Electric Cherry. This perk is just beautiful. When you reload, it sends out a shock to all the surrounding enemies that damages or kills them. Developers say that the damage scales over time, but they say that the damage scales over time, but I'm not sure if it's stronger or a weaker scale. If I had to guess, I would probably say it is weaker because they're known to muff the weapons. Another new thing is the mode called Afterlife. You spawn in this mode, and it basically turns you into an electric ghost spirit thing. This is not going to be a perk. It would be in your inventory like a claymore would be. You seem to have a certain number of them, and how you get more, if you can, is not clear yet. They obviously don't last forever. It only lasts a specific amount of time, which you can see by the meter at the bottom of the screen. The developers say that this is part of the side mission, and I think you can use it to power things and help find clues around the map. It obviously appears to be in something, whether that be an egg or a side mission. As you can see in this picture from the exclusive video from the COD Championship, it does say that Afterlife does equal power. It also says escape plan. It shows the 4 steps: find the warden's key, get the plane parts, build the plane on the roof, and get the hell off the island. I think that this is obviously the egg, but the developers say something about this being a side mission. The egg may be the side mission that they keep talking about. I'm pretty sure that it is, but anyway, as you can see, it shows a bunch of parts that I think you're going to have to find to make the plane. And it shows a ramp that is used to launch the plane, as you can see in this video. The page also says a cat has 9 lives, which probably has something to do with the Afterlife perk, but I can't help but think it may be referring to Who's Who, or they may be basing it off of Who's Who somehow. Another thing people have been wondering about were why the zombies had red eyes again. All that I can think of is that either this was supposed to take place before Dr. Maxis switched with Samantha on Moon, which is when all their eyes turned blue, or somehow Samantha took control of the zombies again. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something from this video. Please like and subscribe if it helped.